Welcome to another cooking edition of Life Talk. On Life Talk, we talk about the things that matter most in life. And today's episode will focus on food and cooking, specifically French onion soup. Now, if you've watched any of our previous episodes, you know we've done 4 or 5 shows now. We've done basically a vegetarian dish. We did one that focused on leeks and potatoes. Now we did add turkey sausage to that, but that can be an easy vegetarian dish. We then did easy Italian cooking with pasta and olives. From there we made American goulash, absolutely delicious. And then we made my world famous potato soup. Now today, which will be our 5th cooking episode, we are going to be covering French onion soup. If you've done any traveling with me, you know that whenever I go on the road, I am looking for a place that has French onion soup. And no matter where I go, I will try it. And I can search the world over for French onion soup and then come right back home and still have one of the best versions I've ever had. So we're going to show you how to do that. It's very easy, it's very simple, and pretty quick too. But we also want you to stick around until the next few episodes, and right around November, we're going to be doing a Thanksgiving cooking episode where we're going to teach you how to make Mom's terrific Thanksgiving stuffing. Now, we know this year Thanksgiving is going to look a little different for some families. They're not going to be having as big of a gathering as maybe they have in the past. We're not going to. And so it's going to be different for people, but we're going to make that Thanksgiving special for you. Even if you have to buy sliced turkey or cold cuts, whatever you have to buy, we're going to teach you how to make Thanksgiving stuffing. Because if you have that, then you've got the Thanksgiving meal as far as I'm concerned. So make sure you stick around for the next few episodes of Life Talk. We'll make sure you get that recipe. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down below. And then there's a little bell next to it. Ring that bell and you'll get notifications whenever a Life Talk video does come up. And we want you to be a part of what we do. So make sure you hit the like button if you're enjoying what we're doing. And also comment below. If there's a recipe that you want or something you'd like us to make, we'll do our best to fulfill that request. So without any further ado, I'm going to be putting up this picture to show you what we have for ingredients for today. And I'm going to bring my mom, Sharon, into the picture, and she's going to show you what ingredients we're using and how to make an absolutely delicious French onion soup. So stick around and let's get cooking.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. And today I have something really simple for you, but really delicious. And as my daughter said, French onion soup, which is our favorite, but this is probably the quickest method I think you could ever try. It's absolutely amazing. I don't measure anything, so you just kind of have to go by what I'm telling you. Most Italians, older Italians, really don't measure too much. So we just kind of go by taste. And so right now I'm going to show you what the ingredients are, which can be flavored with anything. My favorite is cheese and onion, but all I could find was cheese and garlic. That works. Anything that you prefer, okay? Then my favorite is this beef bouillon because it's low sodium. It's from Italy, but whatever is your favorite will work for me. This is called Gia Russa culinary stock, beef flavored, all natural, no MSG. That's important to us, but whatever you prefer. I like low sodium in everything. Then I have a bowl of cut up Swiss cheese and cut up sharp cheddar, whatever again is your preference. So when I put them in the bowls, I'm going to put some with Swiss cheese, some with cheddar cheese, and then you can decide which one you like the best. And I'll put Sherry in to the test and see what she thinks. Here it is, the most important ingredient. Look at this. A bowl of onions. Now I'm making a big batch. Normally I make half of this for Sherry and I. But I'm making this because I want to give this away to some people. But look at all the wonderful white onions. That's what's critical. White onions. And then 1 stick of butter cut into little bitty pats, as you can see, covering across the top. Then you get some saran wrap, and make sure you wrap it up real tight, real good. And what we're going to do is microwave this for about 8 to 9 minutes. We're going to check it to make sure that the onions are translucent, that the butter has made a nice caramelized look to them, and then we're going to go from there. That is step 1. I do have a little bit of salt and pepper because I will add the pepper only to my bouillon because I use everything low salt, but your option to use pepper, I use the pink sea salt. And of course we have our French onion cracks for baking, but in this case, we don't even require baking. So here we go. Step one, we're going to put this in the microwave for 8 to 9 minutes. Okay, so now we have our onions microwaving with the butter and the saran wrap. And again, it's up to you how much you would like to make. For the big quantity that I made today, I put about 4 to 5 large white onions, but normally for 2 people, you could probably use 2 to 3. Okay, and we will get that out for you shortly. Okay, so now I've taken out the onions from the microwave. I did them about 9 minutes. Now you have to realize I like them just with a little bit of crunch. Some people like them really, really soft. So again, that's going to be your personal taste. And I'm just taking off the saran wrap. And you can see, I'm going to show you. We'll move the camera to show you. But you see how nice and juicy those are? Can you see that? Okay, so you can get a look at these beautiful onions. Look how translucent they are. They got a little bit of crunch, which is how I like them. If you want them mushier or softer, just put them right back in. You're going to probably need a new piece of saran wrap because that's kind of what you're going to look like when they comes off. And look, I want you to see that it's not real greasy or anything. You see how the butter just kind of absorbed the water from the onion and it makes like a soup, like a broth. So it's very, very, it smells so good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to transfer the onion into something kind of like a double Dutch oven pan. And we're just going to transfer those in. I wish you could smell this. And we're going to make sure that we get all of that broth because, believe it or not, even though we're putting in the beef bouillon, this is where the flavor is. This is the flavor, the onion and the butter. So make sure you get all of the broth, which I'm going to dump in shortly. I just don't want to make a mess. So I'll try to spoon that in as quickly as I can for you. Okay, so I'm just about done, and now all we're going to do is pour that broth in, spoon a few onions in. Okay? All right. Now, normally if you're making a smaller batch for just a couple of people, you would use one of these. But I'm going to use 2 because, as I said to you, I'm making a bigger batch today. After I look at it, because I do everything by look and taste. I don't really have a recipe, as I said to you before. I may even add a little bit more of a third package, so I'll let you know. And we're going to bring the camera close to this because I want you to see how pretty that is. And I think probably this is going to be enough. But look at how nice and rich that broth is. Yeah, this is a good amount. Okay, and we're just going to give that a little stir. And now we're going to put this on the stove, which I use a new wave, so you're not going to see any gas. You're just going to see me hitting a button. I wish you could smell this. It's so yummy. Okay, so here we go. On to the new wave. And just to get it started, you can hear it starting, I'm going to put it on high and bring that to somewhat of a boil. And then I'm going to reduce the heat to medium. And you can choose to cover or not cover. And I don't really cover, I use a splash cover. So something like this. And that goes over the top. And we just keep our eye on that for probably about, I would say 10 minutes. And then it's done. It's done. Then we're going to ladle it into the bowls. And then we're going to add our cheese and our croutons. And I'll have Sherry Ann taste both of them, and she can tell you what she thinks that she likes, the cheddar or the Swiss. But getting back to the onions, I want to let you know that this is such a good hearty meal because it's very low in calories and it's loaded with antioxidants. Onions are so healthy for you. They help control your blood sugar, they help fight against cancer, and they really benefit your heart and your bones. And they're the sweet white onion that I don't buy a Vidalia, I just buy a white onion, is so tasty in this soup. So let's let that cook for about 10 minutes and then you're ready to see the finished product. Okay, so here we are. We're just at the end of the 10 minute, 11 minute, and if you can move the camera in, you can show them how nice it's boiling. See that nice, beautiful, rich brown color, and how nice the onions are. They're perfect. Some people choose to use a little gravy master, but I don't because it's pretty salty. And again, you know, I don't use a lot of salt. And I do everything by taste. So I have added some pepper, and I'm going to add just a little bit more. And again, that's to your taste if you choose or not. So this is ready to go, and we're going to shut that off, and I'm going to bring it over to the table. Okay, and so you can see this really pretty rich broth and beautiful smell. Some people like to add a little parsley. I mean, you can be creative. And we're going to dish this out for Sherry Ann so she can tell us which one she likes better. Okay, and now all we do is add the croutons and then the cheese. And I've got two different kind of croutons here, only because just what they had and I wanted to try them. And so what we'll do is put a little of each. And you know what? Croutons have some salt too, so you really want to be careful with that, okay, folks? And guess what? The cheese has salt too, right? So we do want to be careful. So here's our Swiss cheese, and we're just going to layer that on the top. One thing I will tell you about Swiss cheese, you see how I cut it? It's really good to cut it because it kind of sticks together when it melts and gets hot, and it can get pretty chewy on your tongue. Sometimes a little bit difficult to swallow, so you want to be sure that you make it so that the pieces are not stuck together too much. Now we're going to do the cheddar. That doesn't stick together as badly. And then we're going to have Sherry Ann taste it. And you know, if you like, you can see how the cheese is, but you can kind of tap it down a little bit to melt it. Some people like to put it back into the microwave to melt it even more. I don't really find it necessary. I think this is really all you need. If Sherry Ann can get a good picture of that, see how pretty that is. What's better is how delicious it is. So now we are going to have the taste test. And Sherry Ann will tell you which cheese she likes the best.
All right, I'm back on camera to taste my favorite food, and I understand my mom did 2 different cheeses here. I'm not exactly sure which one is where, so we'll give it a taste test and see what we think. Looks delicious. Very good. All right, so now we're going to try the other one, and I'm guessing this is a Swiss cheese, and Swiss cheese is my favorite cheese, so I'm wondering if this will be my favorite. Let's find out. We have a winner. Swiss cheese is the winner. And you know, this meal is so satisfying for me. The cheese and the bread. Some people use bread, croutons. Very comforting. Very satisfying. And it reminds me of the Psalm 107:9. It says that He satisfies the longing soul, and to the hungry soul He fills it up and gives them good things. God bless you. Thank you once again, my mom, and all of you listeners and followers and viewers, for sitting in with us today on Life Talk, and where we talk about the things that matter most in life. And on today's cooking edition, we have made French onion soup. We want you to like that button below if you have been enjoying this program. We want you to subscribe, and we want you to stick around each week because you never know what we're going to be talking about. We've now done 25 episodes. Make sure you go back and check out some of the other episodes, some of the other cooking episodes. And right now, I'm going to get to eating. God bless you, and thank you.